Hi guys, how have you been? First thing first, happy 2025. Oh yes, this is my very first video of the year, so it is only right for me to start it with good vibes. Okay, good vibes. There is this popular Igbo adage that says, whenever you wake up, that's your morning. Mgbe onye tetara wogene, ụtụtụ ya. So, if you haven't quite started the year the way you wanted it, consider this your fresh start for the year. So, Happy New Year, my lovelies. In today's episode is just basically me showing you how I install my protective style after a wash day. So basically, every evening after my wash day, I normally prep my hair for the week. So um after having a wash day, I don't normally do it in the day because most of the time it's usually when my children are probably engaging with their dad or asleep that I normally do that. So yeah, I normally do it later in the evening. So in this episode, I'm just going to show you how I install my protective style, and we'll just have a little catching up. Okay, as you know, as most of you know, I am a working class mom of two living in the UK with my husband. And me and my husband are the sole caregivers of our kids. So, my first is about 5 years, going to six. He's going to be six in May. And my youngest one is one. He turned one in December, so he should be around a year and 3 months. So yeah, now you understand what the struggle is, especially when you have to care for a toddler. So, balancing work, family, and having self-care is a full-time job. But, despite the whole business, I always make time to care for myself because, like, looking good is feeling good. And if you don't take care of yourself, how do you give the love? If you don't love yourself, how do you love your neighbor? Yes, so it's very important as well. Over the years, I've learned one crucial lesson, and I want to share that with you. If you do not manage your 24 hours wisely, there will never be enough time. Let me take it again. If you don't manage your 24 hours wisely, there will never be enough. In fact, if you are careless with time, it will feel like it slips through your hands. Mhm. Time is one of the most valuable resources we have. It's the one thing we all get equally, and yet it is very priceless. There is this passage of the Bible that I always remember in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1. It says, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the sun. This means every moment in our life is meant to be used wisely with purpose and intention. Every moment of our life counts and it should be used wisely with purpose and intention. There's this philosopher, Seneca, who once says that it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Let me take it again. It's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. How true is that? Oftentimes we complain that we don't have enough time, and we couldn't do this because there was no time. It's easy to apportion blames or give ourselves the freedom to do that. However, it is not about the time itself, but is how we use the time. Have you ever thought about how you use your time? Like you sat down and you think about how exactly do I use my time each passing moment? Have you ever taken stock of your days? When I mean taking stock of it, I mean sitting down with your pen and biro, with your pen and your paper, go through every single activities of your day and take stock of them. And most of the time we can't even do this if we don't engage in everyday journaling. That's a story for another day. But have you ever taken time to go through the journal of each and every day to take stock of your time, your days? Are you being intentional about how you spend each moment? Or are you just letting time slip away while chasing distractions? It's a shame that this generation is being consumed with a lot of distraction. Distraction in different forms, shape, and size. Trust me, it is. The social media where we surf through the internet to look for one gossip or the other, the news, we sit down, movies, a lot of junk are out there. It's sipping every time we've got. And anything that is distraction is not something you are gaining from. A distraction is something you are not gaining anything from. You might just be getting cheap dopamine rush, but yeah, you are not really getting anything that is going to sustain you for a long run. Are you? I know that many of you have set a lot of goals this year. I have. I don't know if you have. But the thing is, the goals you set might be things you want to achieve, the milestones you want to reach. And I know that the smart ones amongst you have written them down with deadlines attached. But here is the real question. How are you working towards those goals you have set for yourself? You should understand that every single decision you make on a daily basis reflects the success or the failure of those your dreams. And trust me, this is not rocket science. It is a measurable fact. What I mean by a measurable fact, there has been researches that have gone through it, there have been theories raised by it, and this is a fact that people have checked and have researched and have come together to agree that it is real. It is not rocket science. So whatever step you take on a daily basis will always reflect if you're going to be successful with those plans or those your dreams, those your milestones you want to achieve, or the failure of them. So when you decide to sleep and surf through the internet from morning till night and you want to build skyscraper, you will not get it because you are planning to fail. You are planning to do something. Either you're planning to fail or you're planning to succeed. So each of those decisions you take will always reflect. There is a passage in Proverbs chapter 16, verse 9 that says, the heart of man plans. So we make plans, but the Lord establishes his steps. The heart of man plans, but the Lord establishes his steps. This reminds us that while we make our plans, it's always good to align the plans with wisdom and purpose. Now, I know you've heard me talk about purpose and wisdom. Let me buttress purpose a little bit. Before you were born, Bible said before you were born, I know you and have ordained you. So there is something that the Lord has kept for each and every person to achieve or to attain in their life. That thing that God has placed for us is the purpose of our existence. It can be platforms, it can be anything that God has kept for you. So whatever plans you are making has to align with your purpose. So even as you are making your goals, I hope you have measured it and aligned it with the purpose and the plan of God for your life. That's the only way you can achieve true success. Have you taken time to check in with yourself weekly to see if you are on track? This is very important because many people write all these dreams and they don't even go to it month in, month out. And you say you want to achieve it. How? Have you taken track of it and evaluated your plans? And no, I don't mean it in a toxic way. I don't mean it in a way that can cause you anxiety or stress. No, I mean it in a very positive way. Come to think of it, the purpose of even planning is to relieve stress, not to add to it. Okay, so as we go on, let us do a quick self-assessment. So, number one question you have to ask yourself: how conscious am I of my time? That's number one question. The second one is, what systems have I put in place to hold myself accountable? Okay, system can be anything, anybody, any app. What habits or distractions have been stealing my time? What can I do to improve my time management? Very important. There is a Greek philosopher, Aristotle, we all know, once says, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then it's not an act, but a habit. Your daily actions define your success. So every moment you spend wisely brings you closer to your goals. I hope this video gives you something to think about. Time is precious, so let's start using it wisely. I'll leave you with this word in Psalm 90 verse 12, which says, "Teach us to number our ways, our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom." Let us be intentional with our time and make every second count. Drop a comment below with your answers to this question, and I would love to hear your thoughts. See you in my next words. Cheers.